This for the fofo. This for the fofo. For the city and the back roads, got a whole county full of them ghosts. All from the fofo, all in that gold. Hey, it's just for Beulah County. Yeah, right on your head like a bounty. Said I'm from Beulah, they know I'm from Beulah, so let me just go talk about my surroundings. Shout out them Eagles that's out in Geneva, them Lakers, oh yeah, that's Primetime Valley. We from the football chasing these goals. If you in the way, you get taken out proudly. And Jefferson soaring with working, our hands got a callus. Putting in reps till we moving some mountains. Edgewood got warriors, they won't allow it. Me, I bleed green and gold, they know defeating those dragons who run the whole city, you wildin'. And they really bout it, yeah. And next we gon' go to Grand Valley. Work like a horse and don't show no remorse. So opponents keep coming, we stack them and pile them, yeah. And kinda got flooded with Spartans. As soon as they pull up on game day, we park them. Cause we number one in that spot, ain't a bargain. Man, shout out St. John, they be ballin' like Harden. This for the football. This for the football. This for the football.
All right, everybody. Welcome back. 440 Sports Show. We are back in football season. It's time to get back to these weekly shows. And just like the theme song you just heard, shout out to Trey Lorenz Scruggs for writing that theme song. I guess, hold on, before we go, let's make sure we got some sound. Yep, we got sound. We're good. Anyway, shout out to Trey for writing up that great song. The Conneaut filled up with Spartans. The show is going to be filled up with Spartans tonight. We are going to be welcoming Wyatt Payne onto the show here just shortly. He is going to be our week 1 440 Sports Show Player of the Week. And this is something I'm not even sure if he is well aware of yet or not, but we will be telling him when he comes on the show. Not only is he going to win the Player of the Week show right here on the 440 Sports Show, he is nominated for a Big Dog of the Valley award this week on ysnlive.com. I'm going to show you guys exactly how to get there and vote. The great thing about this award, the Big Dog of the Valley, you can vote as many times as you possibly can. And listen, I'm putting this out there, a personal challenge to the Conneaut faithful, to the Conneaut Spartan fans. I know you guys come out in droves, and I know your support is untouched. Get out there and vote for this young man. Let's get Ashton Beulah their first Big Dog of the Valley. Speaking of Big Dog of the Valley, let's bring the man, the myth, the legend. I'll tell you what, I'm not surprised he's my week 1 player of the week because this kid was making all kinds of noise last year. Ladies and gentlemen, Wyatt Payne. Let's get him in here. Wyatt Payne. How you doing, Wyatt?
I'm doing good. How about you?
Good. I'll tell you what, man, it's football season. We're off and running. All that, all the summer workouts and all that preparation and stuff obviously really mattered. And you took it seriously. You go out there that first week, 175 total yards. I know it says 157 there. There's a little bit of give and take on whether one was a passing, some passing yards or not, but 175 total yards on that one. 2 touchdowns and an early candidate for run of the year. Wyatt, what's going on? Did you take ballet over the summer or something? Because over on the sideline, that was insane.
Yeah, I did. Honestly, I just kept running. I knew that I didn't step out of bounds. It was a close call, but the refs gave it to me, so I was happy about that because that put more score on the board. So, but
yeah. I'll tell you what, Wyatt, that's one of those plays where 50% of the stadium says you were out and 50% of the stadium says you were in. And I'm assuming all the Spartan faithful were saying you were in. And, I got a chance to rewatch that game. And shout out to WOWW TV, WOW TV, who are now a part of YSN, going to be catching all the Conneaut broadcasts this year. They're going to be pushing their broadcasts over to YSN. I'm super excited about that one. So we're never going to miss a minute of Conneaut Spartan football or this guy. And you don't want to miss a minute. Wyatt, one of the things I talked about was, in the off season, I joked about the ballet, but, you're a kid that we've seen working hard in the gym, making sure you're getting better. What are some of the things that you focused on this year to make sure that your senior year, Wyatt was going to be a pain for the defense?
Definitely speed and agility, and getting the numbers up in the weight room all off season. Like, around wintertime, we were always in the gym at like 5 a.m. before school, me, Scotty, Ethan, Ty Koval, like all of us. We were always in the gym 5 a.m. right before school. We'd get changed in the locker room and then go about our day. But during the summer, it was mainly just staying conditioned. And then I went to a program out in Akron that helped with my speed and agility. Shout out to what is it called? Hacksaw Fitness. They did a number on my high jump too. So, but yeah, it was mainly just staying where I'm at and getting more agile with my ankles and everything because I tend to roll them a lot.
So, outside of football, what are some other sports that you play?
I do track.
You do track. I'll tell you what, I saw that on Friday. You definitely look like a track guy. One of the things Coach Dobrin, when I got a chance to talk to him over at the CVC Media Day, talked about was him paying very much close attention to the track team this year. Guys like you, guys like Thaddeus Huya, who were out there and really showing out for this Spartans track team. You had a pretty good combine as well. You went out there and did a great job there in the 40-yard line. Let's go to some of these comments. A lot of people excited for you to be on here. He's a menace for all defenses. That is for sure. Ray Torado saying congratulations, Wyatt Payne. Wyatt, coming into your senior year, this isn't your first year as a varsity guy. It's not the first year that you've, been getting big time at a varsity, but you are stepping into some shoes that are some pretty big shoes, and that is of Zach Rice, who right now, as it stands, the all-time leading rusher in Conneaut Spartans history. What were some of the things that you knew coming into this year, or maybe some stuff that you learned from Zach last year that you're going to try and incorporate?
You just need to be really conditioned because we run the ball a lot, whether that be with the same person or whether that be different people. I felt at that game, especially because I was kind of recovering from Lyme's disease. So my conditioning for that game needed to be up there, but mainly it was just run hard. I learned a lot from Max, in fact, because I learned how to lower that shoulder and just keep pushing forward because I seen Max do that a lot last year. I was like, let me try this, and it actually worked out really well.
I'll tell you what, man, when you're as strong as you and Max are, I don't think I want you lowering your shoulder on me. I know that for sure. Another point in that game, we got to see and beautifully pointed out again by that WOW TV crew. Thanks so much. Very excited that they're part of this team this year. A little bit of a gallop. What was going on there? Was that like a half hurdle? What was going on there?
So I got the ball, and as soon as I got the ball, one of my linemen, it was Gavin Nesbitt, that 300-pound guy. He reached for his guy, and he just fell to his hands and knees, and there were no other holes open. So I thought, there's a hole above him. So I was like, as long as I can make it through this hole, I'm making it. I'm jumping over him and I'm lowering the shoulder, but I didn't even need to lower the shoulder because my guys on the right were pushing them in, so I was able to get around them and get into the end zone.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, man, the athleticism you've got is one that a lot of people just can only dream about. Chuck Guglielmo saying, go Wyatt. Now, that's the seal of approval right there. Mr. Conneaut jumping on here. Chuck Guglielmo and Christiana Leap. Proud of you, son.
So, that's my mom, yeah.
Well, shout out to her for producing such a great athlete and a great kid. Christiana, great job on that. Yeah, so, you're going into that game. You're coming in this year as a senior. What are some of the things that kind of changed over from that junior to the senior year? Leadership-wise, what are some of the things that maybe you thought you needed to change to take on that senior role?
Really just be friendly with the lower classmen, really. And there's a lot of added weight on your shoulders, especially with the position that I'm in, because you're pretty much me and Max. I don't want to, sound like a narcissist or anything, but the running core is kind of the workhorse of the offense. So you're going to have a lot of added, weight on your shoulders for that, but making sure that the younger guys are getting the information that they need, because we're going to have younger guys playing, especially with, we don't have a lot of guys on our team. And there's been a younger freshman that even got in varsity reps for that game too. So just making sure everyone knows what's up and knows what's going on with our offense is pretty much the biggest part.
So anybody who's watched Conneaut football in the last, it feels like 20 years since Coach Dobrin has been there, knows that you guys like to run the ball. What were the things you guys kind of focused in on the off season as a team? Was it the run blocking? Was it, making sure you're running harder? How did you guys prepare? Because I'm talking about you guys hit the ground running.
Yeah. It was a lot of lineman work, really, because we've got a couple new linemen in our set. So we got a new senior coming in, Corey Pearson. We got Ryan Turner at center. We're still working out our snaps and everything because that was a problem that we had last year at the beginning of our season. So it was a lot of really lineman work. And then kind of just building up those younger guys, making sure that they're going to be ready for when they're able to get in reps and varsity and everything like that.
Now you're, as your final year as a Spartan here, you're going to get the chance to be the first year in the CVC conference. Now you've put some miles on those buses over there in Conneaut, running all the way into Pennsylvania and playing those teams. Great football over there. Nothing against them. But, what are some of the things you're looking forward to this year, being part of the CVC, getting into, I believe, an all-Ohio schedule this year?
Really just going against guys that we know. So those are some of the teams that we've went up against in the past. Like Jefferson, I think we've went against Geneva before. I'm not talking about high school, but kids that we've grown up with. I feel like it's good that we're able to, show them what we can do, especially with us being seniors. This is our last year of football. So, and being a part of, the county that we're in, finally being able to put up numbers in that division.
Yeah, you got a lot of new opponents this year, which is great for you guys. You guys had a pretty successful year last year. You got to host the first ever playoff game at Conneaut. Now, Conneaut has made the playoffs. I need to put that out there because I got quickly corrected on that when I put out that article. I knew that they made the playoffs, but definitely the first home playoff game.
Yeah.
I know it was a full year ago, but Wyatt, what was that like, getting some playoff atmosphere football for you as a junior at that time there in Conneaut?
Oh, it was amazing. I mean, it felt like I was kind of like a sophomore again, or like a freshman, because they're such big guys, man. Like, they had some big players, especially with their running back being like a state champion in wrestling. So it felt like it was really good to go up against another really good team because it felt like there was still some serious competition out there. So, and we got to branch out to even more teams, even though we only got one round, but just getting that exposure is really what it's all about, and it feels nice to have that.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, there's no experience like playoff experience. It's one of those things. I think you have to be there. You have to live it to learn it. Whether you get your butt kicked or you kick some butt, it's still a playoff game. Hopefully this year you guys get to kick some butt, because I think you guys are slotted for another playoff, especially if you listen to Coach Dobrin. I got a lot of faith in that guy. I'll be honest with you. He really knows, really knows what he's doing out there. You got again, a full new schedule this year. CVC going after a conference championship, a lot of great games. What are maybe one or a couple games that really get the old double circle on your list you can't wait to get back to?
Jefferson. We really want to go up against Jefferson. Caden Heinley, he left us to go to Jefferson. He was still bouncing between the two teams, but he ultimately picked Jefferson. So we're definitely going to want to hit Jefferson hard this year, especially because of how far they went in the playoffs last year. We want to show them that we're just as good as them. Even though we lost players, they lost players, but it can happen again. And then I'm kind of looking forward to playing Geneva because I know they're really good too. So I'm kind of looking forward to playing some really good teams like them.
Yeah, some renewed rivalries. And you talk about both Jefferson and Geneva. Both of them win their opening round game. Geneva beating Gilmore Academy, I believe it was, and what I think might have been the most points scored in that school's history in that game. But and then Jefferson, obviously, with an incredible regional championship last year. That's shooting up high, and I love it. But this year when Conneaut is on the field, Wyatt, what are the people who are new to Conneaut, the people here on YSM, what are they going to be able to look forward to seeing when the Conneaut Spartans are on the field?
I think just the energy. I mean, we're all really good friends. The bonding on the team, like Coach Rock has been, building up the bonding and everything. So I feel like the energy that we're going to bring out is like really good, especially because we're all comfortable with each other. We're all going to ride for each other. We're all going to do everything for each other because it's a team effort. So I feel like the energy that we're going to give out is going to be really good.
Yeah, you know what? I believe it. I believe it. Being around you guys, getting to see, I've known Rocco for a couple years. I actually got to watch you come up. I've had my eyes on you as a player since you were about a sophomore. You started making some noise back then. It's time for your swan song, and I'm excited for it. I'm really, really excited to have you on the show. I just want to take this time to say thank you for coming on the show. Congratulations on being our Week 1 Player of the Week. And I do want to show you something before we get out of there.
Thank you for having me, by the way.
Huh?
I said thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Absolutely, man. So here is the Big Dog Players of the Week. And that name right there is a name that people in Conneaut need to go out there and vote for, folks. YSNlive.com, the Big Dog of the Valley. Wyatt didn't even know he was on this list yet. I'm surprised.
I didn't even know the list existed.
Yeah, this is basically the player of the week for YSN. 68 schools under that umbrella. So of 68 schools, you are one of the young men that stood out. So make sure you guys out in Conneaut get out there and vote. There's no limit to how many times you can vote. Whoever gets the most votes gets the big dog. Let's make this guy right here Big Dog of the Valley. What do you guys say out there? But I'm not going to keep you too much longer. It's a school night, and you are a student athlete first. Very, very excited to have you. Very excited to watch you throughout this year. Thanks so much for coming on the show, Wyatt.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate all the love.
All right, we'll see you soon, man. Keep being a pain. You'll get tired of that pun here soon.
You was used a lot last year.
All right, take it easy, Wyatt.
Thank you. You too.
All right, everybody. That was Conneaut's Wyatt Payne. This week's Player of the Week. Once again, I'm going to bring this right back on the screen. Big Dogs of the Valley. This is an award right here on YSN. So you go to ysnlive.com, and I'll tell you what, I'm going to show you how to vote. We're going to vote for Wyatt right here as our Player of the Week. We're going to go right there, and boom, there's another vote for him. You guys can go and you can vote as many times as you want to. As you can see, it comes back up. You can keep on voting. So I'm putting out the challenge. To all of you Conneaut Spartan folks, the Spartan Nation. I know there's a huge group, a lot of support out there for this Spartan team. Let's see if we can't get out there and make Conneaut's Wyatt Payne get the most votes ever on ysnlive.com. All you have to do is go all you're going to have to do is go to ysnlive.com and go to Big Dogs of the Valley. It's right up here in this corner. You vote for the big dog, Wyatt Payne, folks. Ashtabula's own, the Conneaut man, 175 yards, 2 touchdowns. They had to call that game early because of weather. Otherwise, he probably would have broke that 200-yard marker. That man is he is an absolute beast, and we're really, really excited to have him on the show. What we're going to do now is we are going to go to a break. And when we come back from the break, we're going to talk about the other games that happened in Week 1. And then after, get everything ready first, we'll go through all the results from Week 1. We're going to have a little bit of a highlight film. And then we'll start talking about some of the results from Week 2. Once again, everybody, thanks for joining us tonight. It is Sam Torres here. 440 Sports Show. Prime time. We just had Wyatt Payne on. It was great. Looking forward to getting this season started all over again. So let's go to our broadcast. And this is the part of the broadcast where I'm going to remind everybody that we are looking for some sponsorship. So if you have a business, I would love to get Ashtabula County businesses involved right here on ysnlive.com. You want to talk about exposure? 9 million views on the website already this year. We haven't even gotten through football season. We were 9 million views going into football season. All of the resources that happen from the advertisement. Everything gets pushed right back into YSN, which is pushing right back into exposing these kids and getting them the shine that they deserve. So if you have a business or you know somebody who owns a business that would be interested, I'd love to talk to you. You can reach out to me personally on my Facebook page, The 440 Sports Show, Instagram. You can email 440andgoal@gmail.com. You can go right on to ysnlive.com under advertise. It's a great way to get out your product, and it's also a great way to help the youth right here, because that's where all of our efforts are going. So we're going to go to a quick set of commercials, and we'll be right back.
We believe expectations are made to be exceeded. At the new Toyota of Warren, it's about more than just getting a great deal. It's about service you can count on and a friendship you can trust. Year after year, we've done what we do best. We've gone the extra mile so you could too. Because we know it's just not about buying a new car. It's the start of a new adventure. Toyota of Warren, driven by you.
Shopping for a vehicle online should be easy and worry-free. Introducing Merge from Greenwood Chevrolet, a completely new way to buy a car that combines the convenience of shopping online with the personal touch and expertise that Greenwood is known for. With Merge, shopping is as easy as 1, 2, 3. Choose a vehicle from our pre-owned inventory, build a deal that fits your needs, and finalize the deal with our online buying team. That's car buying in a new lane. Visit greenwoodchevrolet.com and let us go the extra mile for you.
It's back! Shop Sheely's July 29th through August 5th for our Ashley Furniture event. 1 week only, take an additional 10% off all Ashley furniture. Shop deals like this queen storage bed, just $5.99. Or this beautiful stationary sofa, now $6.99. And this 5-piece counter height dining set, only $8.99. Add the finishing touches to any room with these accent pieces, plus so much more. Hurry in for 10% off Ashley plus 6 months special financing. Sheely's, the best things in life happen at home.
All right, everybody. Thanks so much for joining tonight. Sam Torres here, the 440 Sports Show, Ashtabula's only high school sports talk show. We're back in the prime time. We're going to go through some of the results from last week. Let's get that pulled up here. There we go. Make sure that's a little bit bigger. We want that as big as we can possibly get it. Let's go like this. There we go. All right. So some of the results from last week. This is Friday, August 18th. Once again, you can find all these results on www.ysnlive.com. The scoreboard, it's always going to be up to date. I'm telling you, we got 100 guys out there doing crazy, crazy hard work to try and make sure that this thing is staying updated. So again, I've said it on my posts before. I will continue to say it. YSN is Ashtabula County's home for high school sports. Let's start off here. Austintown Fitch going 40-6 over Euclid. Cardinal Mooney goes 29-26 over Menor Lake Catholic. East Palestine is going to fall to Newton Falls 48-34. East Lake North loses to Lakeside 22-14. The Dragons starting on the right side of this one, folks. Latonia going to take a hard one there. Fairport Harding 47-6. You got Orange 49-0 over Beechwood. Shout out to Orange for getting there, breaking a 2-year losing streak. And what a way to do it. 49-0. Hubbard goes 10-6 over East. Garfield Heights Trinity 38. St. John 6. That was my call on that one. Jefferson is going to fall to Girard 42-21. You got Lakeview and LeBray. Lakeview coming out on top there 41-14. Here's the one, folks. Liberty and Edgewood. Edgewood goes out there. Welcome to the show, folks. Welcome to the show. Edgewood 58, Liberty 20. And that Edgewood offense is absolutely on fire. Look out for them for the rest of the year. Those boys are ready to play. Coach Cooper, and the rest of the coaching staff out there doing a phenomenal job getting them ready to, take care of the home front there. You got 41-6 Lisbon over Wyndham. PV is going to fall to Mineral Ridge. Let's go like that. PV is going to fall to Mineral Ridge here in this one. And what a tight game that ended up being. That last play of the game is actually what is going to decide that one. 29-22. PV Lakers losing early in the season, but don't look for them to lose often. They are going to be a stunner this year. Poland, 38-6 over Salem. Another one over there in that NE8 conference, which is just an absolute dogfight over there. South Range coming off of a state championship year. They graduated a ton of people. You got a lot of teams in the NE8 that are like, hey, it's going to be our turn to take it. Jefferson leaving the NE8 as a regional champion last year, joining the CVC. East Liverpool is going to go 50-0 over Minerva. Lowellville and Columbiana, how about that one? 22-21, the final in that one. We just talked a little bit about South Range, 41-14 over Springfield. South Range just coming out and kicking right where they left off. Springfield had a tough start last year as well. Look for them to pick it up. They've got some tough games ahead of them, including against Geneva. Southern Local and McDonald, 3 points the separator in that one, 22-25. Campbell Memorial, 30. St. Thomas Aquinas, 0. Steubenville Central Catholic, 37. Wellsville, 6. One of these games that I'm personally paying close attention to, because Steubenville Central Catholic on the schedule for St. John. They will be heading down to play in their stadium here in a couple weeks. Steubenville Central Catholic starting off really, really hot. Struthers goes 37-20 over Beaver Local. Valley Christian, if you know Andy Hake, you don't bet against him. 30-12 there in that one. Waterloo and United, it's all Golden Eagles in that one. 41-6. Canfield 38, West Branch. Canfield 38, West Branch 19. Moving right along here, you're going to have Garrettsville Garfield 42-0 over Cardinal. Western Reserve going to lose 26-7 to Malvern. Boardman and Kenston is going to be Kenston 50-13. Kenston over there in that Western Reserve Conference. Brookfield loses to Norwayne 59-7. And Edison is going to go 34-14 over Monroe Central. Those are your scores from last week. We got a little bit of a highlight film we're going to run here. These are all the touchdowns from last week. All the Ashtabula County, YSN Ashtabula County schools that are under our broadcast umbrella. We've got your touchdowns right here. Let's check out some of the biggest plays from week 1. All right, everybody. Those were your Ashtabula County YSN touchdowns from week 1. Now, normally on the show, we are going to give out some stat leaders and get that, let you know who's ahead and where we are. This week, not going to have them just yet. Waiting on some stats to come in from a couple of the schools here. Want to make sure it's completely full before we release those. We're also going to have some volleyball stats coming in here very soon. Those matches just started this week, so we obviously don't have a lot to pull from. But here in the upcoming weeks, you'll be able to see things like the touchdown reel. You're going to have your statistical leaders released. I'm hoping to have those stat leaders released by Friday. I'm just waiting on a couple stats from a couple places. Once we have those in, we'll get the defensive and offensive leaders right here in the YSN Ashtabula area released here very, very soon. I'm really looking forward to seeing some of them already sticking out to me. I think looking at those games from last week, and I'll just bring this on here, just out here in this area, some of the things that stuck out, East Lake North and Lakeside kind of jumping back into what they do. And that's, going run heavy, but letting Alex DeSalvatore kind of decide where the game is going. Nate Bartone has a great game in that one. But one of the people you're going to have to start watching out for is a youngster that is being added into that offense. He's a speedy kid. He's a great athlete. The young man's name, Devin Miller. Devin Miller, his father was a great running back over at Shaker Heights not too long ago. Comes from a great family. This kid is going to be somebody who I think you can look forward to seeing the Dragons utilizing. He ends the game with 92 yards and a touchdown. I'm very, very excited to see where the Dragons are going because he's joining an offense with guys like Jimmy Timoneer. Jimmy Timoneer, obviously, with a receiving touchdown that you saw in that touchdown reel. Timoneer, one of the better receivers you're ever going to find. He's a basketball player who likes to play football, or a football player with a basketball skill set, whichever one you want to call him. It just means the young man can run. He can jump out of the gym, and he can make the catch. So I'm really high hopes there for that Lakeside team. I'm really, really looking forward to seeing how they're going. They're going to have a heck of a test here this week. And actually, we'll bring those up here, right here on week 2. Lakeside going to be heading over to NDCL. This is a reminder, you're going to be able to find all of these YSN Ashtabula County games available on ysnlive.com. It is truly your home for Ashtabula County high school sports. 7 out of the 8 schools right now, all going to be covered by YSN. There were some questions as to why we didn't have one particular school, Geneva, obviously the only school that we don't have any information out there on. Unfortunately, we still can't cover them yet. They're still not part of our network. My fingers are crossed. I'm hoping that changes any day now. I know that it's one of those situations that I personally tried to remedy for 6 to 8 months, doing my very best to try and get that thing going. At this point, you got to talk to your administrators. You got to talk to the people at the school, let them know. You remember back in the day, there was the I want my MTV. If you're in Geneva, you got to go to your administrators and say, I want my YSN, because when you guys are ready, we'll be there with whistles. Moving on, you're going to have Edgewood 1-0 taking on Grand Valley 0-1. Grand Valley having a tough first week, and it's no wonder. Conneaut's a very, very good football team. They've got a new quarterback there in Sammy Goforth, as Nate Boyarski is going to graduate last year. So he's got to fill in some big shoes. You talk about one of the better athletes you're ever going to see on a football field in Nate Boyarski. So Sammy Goforth is going to jump in there. Casey Turner also graduating last year, the juggernaut type running back that he is. So they're going to be leaning heavily on guys like Goforth, like Bobby Rogers. They're going to need some help from those guys. Having a little bit of trouble getting the offense going. I don't think the weather helped last week. It's going to be a very interesting matchup, as you're going to have Grand Valley, who had a very tough week 1, heading to Edgewood, who had anything but a tough week 1. Liberty, and I'll tell you what, don't overlook that Liberty win by Edgewood. Liberty is a good football team. They got 4 wins last year over 4 very, very good teams. It's not like Edgewood was out there just playing against a bad team. Liberty maybe had a slow start, and Edgewood has been fired up since the last game they played last year. This is a team where, you can look for Edgewood, senior heavy, roster heavy, incredibly well coached. These guys are ready. It's going to be a great year for the Warriors. This is going to be an interesting matchup coming up this week against Grand Valley. Edgewood starting off the year with 2 home games. Conneaut, they're going to be hosting Western Reserve. This is a one of the few opponents that they had played last year. A familiar foe. Conneaut coming off a big win. Western Reserve coming off of a loss. Conneaut trying to keep it going, but Conneaut going to they're going to be hosting Western Reserve. Conneaut, it just hits differently when you're playing there. The crowd is loud. The community is involved. The players get live. They've got a beautiful new scoreboard out there. You got people who camp out and have fires outside of the fence. It's really just a huge environment to go play in. So that's going to be one of the great ones to watch this week. You got Jefferson coming off a very tough loss to a very, very good Girard. Girard was the number 1 seed in their region last year. So don't overlook the Girard Indians. Very, very good. Jefferson's still able to get 21 points in the way Jefferson does. And that is through, that RPO, keeping it on the ground. They can pass a little bit, but the moment you overlook their run game, they're going to make you pay for it. Guys like Cage Bozar, Luke Funtash, those are the ones you're going to have to keep your eyes on at all times. And when you're doing that, you're overlooking guys like Salinas over on the as a receiver. You got Caden Heinley, who's over there playing at Jefferson now as well. They've got some big time talent at Jefferson. Do not get caught up in the start. Jefferson, as far as I'm concerned, has the hardest schedule in the county this year. Playing guys, Girard, they're going to have Beaver Local. They've got Lutheran West. Hawkins, Big Perry, big time games. So it's going to be a rough start for them. It's something that Coach Hanna knew coming into this year. I think it's something that he's prepared for. Those boys are ready to go to battle. And if any team is going to run through a wall for their coach, it's those Falcons boys from the south part of the county right there in Jefferson. They're going to be hosting Wycliffe this week for their home opener right there in Jefferson. St. John, they are going to be heading to Wycliffe. This is the game that I'm going to be calling with my partner, with my cameraman this week. St. John has a tough go of it last week. Trinity comes out, Trinity in the CVC, obviously a much bigger school than St. John. St. John has some glimmers there. Right off the opening kickoff, they go out and they're able to cause a fumble, create an extra possession, trying to get that offense moving. Some things stalled out. They did struggle against the run. That is the Achilles heel of St. John in that game. And when Trinity figured that out, it was all but over. They just continually ran the ball, and that's where they went at them. St. John, they are very, very talented this year. They've got a nice junior class that is absolutely full. They've got a great senior in Hank Wagner, who is going to be kind of a big man on the line. He's going to be on the defensive side. There's somebody they're going to lean to for some leadership. But, it's the junior class at St. John right now that they're kind of heavily leaning on. That's Narducci. It's Ryan Williams. It's Will Anderson. It's Sully Twining. They've got guys that are out there ready to play. There's some younger guys out there ready to play. Petrocello, Crawford, Severino, Milo Twining as well. Don't overlook St. John. Don't put it away just yet. They will have a tough game this week. Wycliffe is a team that likes to keep the ball on the ground. They play clock control. And St. John, if they want to win this game this week, they are going to have to dig deep and get ready to tackle, because it's going to be all about the run game. They're going to try and keep, I believe they run like a modified wing tee over there at Wycliffe. It's going to be a fun game to watch. You're not going to want to miss it. If you can't make your way to Wycliffe, though, tune into ysnlive.com/St. John. All those schools are going to have their own tabs right there on the website coming up soon. YSN Live, you're going to be able to, if you are a YSN school, you'll be able to go to your school. You're going to be able to see all of your games, all of your articles, everything that has to do with your school is going to be under that tab. It's really, really a great website. Think ESPN, except for people that care about you. That's where YSN is standing right now. Super, super excited about this one. And then finally, you've got PV taking on Cardinal. Now, PV 0-1, Cardinal 0-1. Both PV and Cardinal take losses in the opening week. PV takes a gut-wrenching one against Mineral Ridge, who is a team that flat out beat PV's butt last year. So PV was going out there, and they had it all the way until the very, very end. Mineral Ridge pulls it out, gets the W. It's the worst type of defeat to swallow for PV. But let me tell you something about PV. Ryan Croston, Ty Vickery, Jaron Nowakowski, those kids can flat out play football. Don't overlook them. They have started slow in the past. They have always picked it up. Neil Croston does not play any games. He does not hold anything back. This is a team, get ready for them to step right back into where they should. PV is going to, I think this is a game where they're going to have to try and bounce back. Now, they're going to have to do it against a very difficult Cardinal team. Cardinal got their butt kicked last week, and I don't think Cardinal's going to stand for it 2 weeks in a row. But I think PV is going to have to dig deep and figure it out there. You know, on the backs of Croston and Vickery and Nowakowski and, you know, young guys like Giddings and John Finello on the line. You know, they're going to have to get big-time play from those guys if they want to get this and you know, take the coaching and listen to what they're supposed to be doing. Those are the games for this week here on week 2. Very, very excited about this upcoming week of football. It was a great week 1. I'm going to be honest with you. We welcome some new announcers to the team this year. You've got Mike Alekshik and Larry Jennings over there at Edgewood. They're going to be following them back and forth through most of their games this year. You've got Tyler Hartz, who is going to be bouncing around a little bit, but he's going to find a home in Grand Valley very soon. Sean Prine also joining the team. He's calling the Lakeside games this year. PV, we're going to have people bouncing in and out of there. But, you know, we're still looking for announcers. So if you're interested, we'd love to talk to you. I'd love to talk to you, see if we can't get you on here and talk. You know, you get to go out and do the best thing you can do on a Friday night, and that's broadcast and watch a high school football game. It doesn't get much better than that, people. I'm telling you, it really, really doesn't. So that's what we've got this week. Again, coming up here on week 2, we've got some great matchups. If you can't make it to the games, YSN Live is your home for Ashtabula High School sports. The answer on Friday nights is never, are we streaming? It's always yes. It's not where are we streaming? It's always YSN, your home for Ashtabula High School sports right here. I'm very, very proud of that. It's something that, you know, since we started this, it was something I was hoping we could get to one day, and it happened much, much quicker than I thought it would. So that's my spiel this week. Once again, if you guys are interested or you have businesses that are interested in in advertising right here on your sports network, I would love to talk to you. You can reach out to me directly on any of the 440 Sports Show media pages. You can go to ysnlive.com. Go over there under advertise, great rates, and it's a great way to get your product or your business out in front of 9 million views. 9 million views is what we are going into this week. We haven't gotten the week 1 numbers in just yet, but let me tell you, the website was pumping. It was awesome. I want to show everybody one last time this Big Dogs of the Valley. You go over here to ysnlive.com, click on Big Dogs. It's going to bring you right here. You've got your Big Dogs of the Valley listed. This is the weekly award here on YSN. 68 schools. 68 schools is how many are competing for this award. And this week we've got one from Little Oak Conneaut. And again, you can show Wyatt Payne getting the vote right there. As you can see, there's been about 300 or 400 votes since the showtime. So get out there, Conneaut. Show us what you got. Show us your true colors, Conneaut. I know you can do it. The support that they got out there for that team is phenomenal. So I'm really, really looking forward to seeing how this one shakes out. That's all I got for you guys this week. Next week, like I said, we'll have some statistical leaders we'll go over. You know, we'll have some volleyball stats. I will be releasing the YSN Ashtabula stat leaders here by the end of the week. Just waiting on a couple of those. That'll all be coming soon. But for the 440 Sports Show, my name is Sam Torres. I want to thank you guys all for taking some time here in your evening and spending it with me doing what I love best, and that's talking high school football, folks. I'll see you guys soon next Wednesday. And if you want to listen, I'll be on the air on Friday. Make sure you tune into all the great YSN shows. We've got content and live shows every single day, including Power Hour, Running Point, and my favorite show of the week, the Friday Super Show, starting at 3 o'clock right here on ysnlive.com, where we go through and make all of our picks for the week. Once again, everybody, thank you so much. My name is Sam Torres, 440 Sports Show. This is for the 440.
This for the 440. This for the 440. For the city and the back roads, got a whole county full of them ghosts. All from the 440 and let's go. Hey, it's just for Beulah County. Yeah, right on your head like a bounty. Said I'm from Beulah, they know I'm from Beulah, so let me just go talk about my surroundings. Shout out them Eagles that's out in Geneva, them Lakers, oh yeah, that's Primetime Valley. We from the 440 chasing these goals. If you in the way, you get taken out proudly. And Jefferson soaring with Falcons. Said that you working, you ain't really working. You see that we working, our hands got a callus. Putting in reps till we moving some mountains. Edgewell got warriors, they won't allow it. Me, I bleed green and gold, they know defeating those dragons who run the whole city. You wildin'. And they really doubt it. And next we gon' go to Grand Valley. Work like a horse and don't show no remorse. So opponents keep coming, we stack them and pile them. Yeah, and kinda I flooded with Spartans. As soon as they pull up on game day, we park them. Cause we number one in that spot, ain't a bargain. Man, shout out St. John, they be ballin' like Harden. This for the 440. This for the 440. This for the 440.